You're watching Good Morning BYU-Idaho with hosts Andrea Olson and Kelly Furrows. News with Angela Mortensen. Weather with Joy Baird. Sports with Tracy Flatt. Cooking with Ashley Martin and Chef Steve Vest. Breaking news with Morgan Mathis. Political commentary by Evan Weary. Entertainment news with Rachel Robinson. Lifestyle with Jennifer Williams and aerobic instructor Michelle Gunnell. Movie reviews with Melissa Anderson. And celebrity interviews with Preston Johnson and special guest Melinda Mervang.
Welcome to this special edition of Good Morning BYU-Idaho. I'm Kelly Furrows.
And I'm Andrea Olson. Thanks for being with us today. We're going to begin our show with the news. Angela Mortensen, what do you have for us today?
The Fremont County Sheriff's Office is looking for a stolen vehicle. Apparently, the truck went missing the same night. Inmate Tarango DeForest Padilla escaped. Padilla walked away from the Department of Corrections work camp in St. Anthony. Police believe Padilla stole the 2003 Chevy K2 2500. And just when eastern Idaho thought they were getting a break, another wildfire broke out. The Box Canyon Fire is burning near Artco, Idaho. So far, the lightning-caused fire has burned over 100 acres. Fire crews are still fighting the blaze. They currently have 4 fire engines and an air attack plane on scene.
So we've been having some beautiful weather, but it's going to be cooling down a little bit in these next few days. Over here in this area, it's going to be raining a little bit more. And as we go to the east coast over here, it's going to be raining in the sections where the green are, which will be kind of nice for the east coast cities that have been having a lot of hot spells recently. As we go over to our 5-day forecast, Thursday today it's going to be 79, it's going to be a bit gusty. Friday 86, Sunday 87, Sunday 90, 93, 92, 88, and 86. So it'll still be warm, but it's going to be a bit rainy, so make sure that you dress appropriately. All right, back to you.
Thanks, Angela, for that update.
Next, we're going to turn it over to Tracy Flatt for a quick update on what's happening in the world of sports. Tracy?
Here's a welcome change many college football fans have been waiting for. The NCAA has approved a 4-team playoff to determine the national champion of college football. This decision comes after a long tenure of the traditional bowl series. Instead of the top teams being decided by a computer, now a selection committee will choose the top 4 teams, and then those teams will compete in a playoff. Those games will take place at the already existing bowl sites. This is a welcome change to college football, and the day of a computer determining which teams are best are soon coming to an end. Well, the 4th of July brings many traditions, parades, picnics, and fireworks. But a 1916 tradition involving hot dogs? Well, Nathan's Hot Dogs has been holding an annual hot dog eating contest where 20 contestants line up and they have 10 minutes to eat as many hot dogs as they can. This year, Joey Chestnut won the men's division, eating 68 hot dogs. Chestnut has won this contest 6 years in a row and is now tied for the longest win streak in hot dog eating history. Chestnut walked away from the contest $10,000 richer and 20,000 calories heavier. I'm Tracy Flatt, and those are your sports updates.
Thanks, Tracy.
Ashley Martin and Chef Steve Vest have a new recipe that will benefit busy parents.
Let's take a look.
Thank you, ladies. We are in fact here with Chef Steve, who is going to show us how to keep your chocolate chip cookies nice and moist and not too lumpy. So Steve, a lot of housewives that watch the show, you know, they want to know how to keep their kids coming home to these fresh baked, awesome tasting cookies, and you're going to give us some tips about those today, right?
I am, yep.
That's perfect.
As you can tell, I love a good cookie.
Well,
exactly. The biggest problem that people have with cookies is that either they're too spread out and gooey or they're too hard and crumbly.
And no one likes a crumbly cookie.
Exactly. and actually that just comes down to 2 simple things. If the cookie is spread out and runny, it's because the butter is too soft.
Okay.
And if it's crumbly and hard, it can either be that the butter is too hard or there's too much flour. So we're going to kind of go over that. Now, first of all, to address the butter issue, you want the butter to be at room temperature.
Okay.
But how do you know if butter's at room temperature, right?
Right.
Well, the simple thing to do is just press down on it really gently, and if you can indent the butter, then it's good. Then it's room temperature.
Perfect.
And then it's okay to use in your cookie dough.
Okay.
Now with the flour, most people think, 1 cup is just, a big old cup, right?
That's what I think.
But you actually want to, tap the cup to get those air bubbles out from underneath the flour, and then level it off.
Perfect. Just with a knife, just like that?
Yeah, just with a knife, just to make sure you don't have excess flour in there that'll cause the cookies to be hard and crumbly, which we don't want.
Perfect.
Right?
Okay.
Now,
And do you have a few favorite products that you like to use, like specific ones, or does it kind of matter if people switch, or should they stick to kind of what works?
I would say to stick to your favorite recipe. The only caveat that I have is to use a good chocolate chip. If you use a really nasty generic, who knows what it's made out of chocolate chip, they're not as good. So I prefer the actual milk chocolate chips, not the semi-sweet or whatever those imitation ones are made out of. Yeah. So I like a good chocolate chip.
Okay.
Yep. And I think these are done. In fact, I'll let you try one here and see what you think.
Oh, these look amazing. Wow. Ooh, and they're still warm. Oh, he knows what he's talking about, folks. Okay, well, thank you, Chef, for showing us these tips, and we'll throw it back to you in the studio.
Well, thanks, Steve. That looks amazing.
We've just been informed that there is some breaking news.
We have Morgan Mathis out on the field. Morgan, can you tell us what's going on?
Thanks, Kelly and Andrea. As you can see 10 feet behind me here, there are flames shooting up to 50 feet, engulfing the forest to the hills of eastern Idaho, but right to the east of Rexburg. Now, these flames were said to be started over the weekend when a family was just having a family outing, setting off the last of their fireworks from the 4th of July. The fireworks caught some dry grass and engulfed the surrounding area, and so far is said to have burned around 258 acres. Firefighters are on the scene trying to contain the blaze, but because of the shortage of fire crews, because they're so dispersed with so many wildfires at this time, they're not sure as to when it will be contained, but there is an alert to the surrounding areas. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, Morgan, thank you for that update.
Now we're going to turn it over to Evan Weirig as he gets us up to date in the world of politics.
Well, the Obama camp is at it again. Now, I'm not sure how many of you caught the recent interview with Robert Gibbs on CNN recently, but it was really a sight to behold. Gibbs was seen parroting really the only talking point the Obama campaign seems to have against Romney. Look at what he did when he was part of Bain Capital. Ooh! However, every ad that Obama has run has gotten 4 Pinocchios from the Washington Post. Get 4 Pinocchios here. Gibbs was even called out on this and was apparently still willing to go down with the ship. Here's the interesting thing, though. The Obama camp is banking on the fact that not one of their supporters will actually look up what they're spouting off. Now, haven't you ever noticed that in almost every case where a person may say, just trust me, that's all you got to do, just trust me, it ends up going wrong? Obama has been saying this from his campaign back in 2008. Now, what does he have to show for all this? Honestly, we need to be very, very careful when it comes to anyone who says, trust me, it'll all be fine. What happened to the point where we could think for ourselves, where we held everyone in power, no matter where they are in whatever office, accountable for what they do and say? We have to start using common sense here. That's the only way we're going to be able to get out of this.
Thanks, Evan.
Well, it's been a busy month so far in the entertainment industry.
Rachel Robinson, what's the gossip for today?
Thanks, Andrea. Matthew McConaughey and wife Camilla are expecting baby number 3. The couple, who tied the knot a mere 2 weeks ago, say they are excited for the new addition to join Big Brother Levi and Big Sister Vida. Kelly Clarkson, the first American Idol winner, has built her career on songs like Miss Independent and Stronger, songs about not needing a guy in your life. Rumors have spread that the reason she doesn't need a guy in her life is because she's actually into women. Clarkson puts to rest these rumors by telling Lucky magazine that she, in fact, has a boyfriend, Reba McEntire's stepson. And finally, with news out this week of Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' divorce, we wanted to take a look into furthering why the divorce is happening. Tom, who has been married 3 times, has had all 3 wives divorce him at the age of 33. They divorced him. Katie wants sole legal custody and physical custody of their daughter Suri, which will definitely raise contention in the courtroom. We will bring more to you on this story when new developments arise. Back to you.
Thank you, Rachel.
We have a special lifestyle segment today.
Jennifer Williams has a special guest. Jennifer?
Thanks, Kelly. Well, physicians say that everyone should get at least 20 to 30 minutes of any form of exercise each and every day. And today we are going to be discussing the benefits of aerobics. Aerobics is a form of exercise that improves your flexibility, muscular strength, and helps your cardiovascular. To give us more information about this, we have Michelle, a trained aerobics instructor, with us today. So, Michelle, what made you want to become an aerobics instructor?
Well, throughout childhood, I had the opportunity to start running a lot and getting involved in cross-country teams and whatnot, and I decided this is kind of a repetitive exercise. I want to try something more. I had a lot of different friends who struggled with the desire to work out, and I was like, there's got to be something that can incorporate people who don't want to be competitive, but they want to feel accepted and progress in themselves.
Exactly. So did you just start helping out with your friends, and then did you become an instructor, or how did that kind of happen?
Yes, it began with actually buying those homemade DVDs and trying them out and finding different workout moves and how they helped me personally. And as I began to do that, I started having little group get-togethers, doing that with my friends, and then I started taking classes, and I had the opportunity to get certified and be able to lift all kinds of groups.
That's amazing. So how long have you been teaching?
About a year.
That's exciting. And can you give us a demonstration of your favorite move or combination?
Well, one of my favorite combinations, actually, is it's a kind of a kickboxing move. It's essentially doing a lunge and then doing an oblique twist at the same time. Because in doing that, you're working your obliques and your lower legs, allowing you to slowly build muscle and be able to recuperate. And the more muscle you have, the more energy you're able to have. And people in aerobics ultimately have reported having greater amounts of energy, greater amounts of being able to get to places, and overall joy. It's a fun workout.
That's good. So can you give us some different moves, or just tell us about it, that help different muscles, or give us a little bit more detail about that?
Definitely. There's a lot of different forms of aerobics. There's Zumba, which is kind of like a dance aerobics, kind of a Latin mixture of kickboxing, where you have the opportunity to move all your body in all sorts of ways. And there's also more resistance kind of based workouts, such as Pump It, which you'll find on the BYU-Idaho campus, where you're able to work all of your muscles, your upper body, your lower body. There's also water aerobics. And there's many forms. My favorite specifically is mainly the cardio power resistance, step, and Zumba.
Great, thank you. And where do you teach, and the hours of teaching of your classes?
It's at Gold's Gym on Main Street from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day except for Sunday. And you can get there and get your own personal aerobics instructor, or if an instructor is training for aerobics.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Jennifer and Michelle. That looks like a lot of fun.
Now it's time for a movie review with Melissa Anderson.
Well, thanks. Actually, this movie was originally released in the UK, and I think that it lives up to the expectations that people have for it. While there might be some who've said that it's just another romantic comedy, I believe that it's more than just a little romance. The story is certainly funny, and the male lead is David Tennant, who has something of a cult following in the UK. But the writing is what's going to bring people to this film. Well, that and the spectacular scenery. It starts on the island of Heg, where a star decides to have her wedding, but after she runs away to escape the paparazzi, they have to find a stand-in who accidentally signs the register. The repartee is phenomenal, and the conclusion to die for. If you like a little romance, do not miss this movie. I give it 4 out of 5 stars.
Thank you, Melissa. Sounds like it could be a hit in the United States.
Preston Johnson has a special guest with us today, an opera singer here at BYU-Idaho.
Let's take a closer look.
Thanks, Andrea and Kelly. Well, we have a very special guest for you guys today. This young lady is a superstar at BYU-Idaho. She was trained to sing opera, but has made a name for herself in the music world as a pop singer. Please welcome Melinda Mervang. Thanks for being on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So good to see you.
Thanks.
So thanks for being here. I want to talk about music, obviously.
Of course.
How did you get started in music?
Well, I think it all started when I was really young. My dad, he had this great Bose stereo system, and he would blast music at all hours of the day. And I think I developed a love for music then, and just kind of grew throughout my life. You know, I was that little kid who performed for their family every opportunity they had, and it just kind of grew from there.
Absolutely. So it started when you were young and then just kind of progressed.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So in music, it's almost just as much about the feeling and about performance as it is about your technique in singing. Where do you get your inspiration for your music?
It just depends on the song. Like if I have to have like a sad emotion or a happy emotion, then I really tap into personal experiences, and also things that I viewed around me really affects the way that I sing, and also the style of song. If I'm singing an opera song, it's a little bit easier to have some emotion, I think. But with the pop stuff, it's always a little happier, a little more soulful, and that's when I use my personal experiences.
For sure. Now I understand that you have a song for us that you're gonna sing for us today.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Yeah, it's actually a song. It's a cover by Kelly Clarkson, and it's a song I really love. It's called Beautiful Disaster, and she had it on her first album, and she had actually redone it because she didn't like the way that it came across. And I thought that was kind of cool artistically, that she kind of took control as an artist, made it into something more that she liked, and so I've taken it even further from there and turned it into something that works for me.
Great. Well, I'm excited to hear it. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
And I'm longing for love and the logical, but he's only happy hysterical. I'm searching for some kind of miracle. Waited so long, I've waited so long. He's soft to the touch, but afraid at the ends he breaks. He's never enough, but still he's more than I can take. Oh, and I don't know what he's after, but he's so beautiful. He's such a beautiful disaster. And if I could hold on through the tears and the laughter, would it be beautiful or just a beautiful disaster? It's beautiful, Lord, he's so beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. That was amazing. How about that? A singer at BYU-Idaho with so many different ranges and skills.
I wish I had those skills. Well, that's going to do it for today on this edition of Good Morning BYU-Idaho. I'm Andrea Olson.
And I'm Kelly Furrows. Have a great day.